Alright, footy fans, get ready to join the chat as we talk everything about footy. Here at the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. Here are your hosts, P.J. and Breno.
G'day footy fans, what a massive weekend of football we just witnessed. The last round of the NRL regular season. We are into the business end. 9 teams done and dusted, they're gone. And now heading into Mad Monday. And we have 8 of the top teams left as we start the NRL final season. Thanks for joining us. This is the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast with another awesome episode. We're going to go back and have a look at round 27 results, and we're going to dive into the massive 4 finals matches that are happening this weekend. And yeah, we're your hosts. I'm Breno, and of course I'm here with PJ. How's it going, mate? Good footy last week?
It's going well. First of all, everyone, let's put our hands together for the Newcastle Knights.
Fell over the line. We got there.
Crowd sound. Well done. They got across the line and made 8 spot. You beauty. We had 60, we had 50, we had a couple of 40s. It was a huge weekend of football.
So many points scored.
Yeah, let's check that out right now. So we kicked off on Friday night. It was the Brisbane Broncos playing in front of 35,000 devastated fans who turned up for them, God bless them, to cheer their team on, only to see Melbourne Storm put 50 as Melbourne returned their 11 players from injury and resting. Brought them back. No Pappenhausen, but it didn't matter for the Melbourne Storm. They did lose their fullback far logo to an injury, which is really bad, but I think Pappenhausen's back this week. We'll look at that in a minute. What do you think of the demolition, 50-12 from the Storm?
Brilliant. Hughes and Warbrick, hat tricks as well for the Storm. They played outstanding. I think they're looking good coming into the finals. Dangerous.
Jerome Hughes getting a hat trick. I think he threw 2 or 3 of Warbrick's 3 as well. Yeah. He was on absolute fire.
They're the 2 players I didn't have in my multi.
Marquee halfback in the comp. Is there anyone better than Jerome Hughes?
He's pretty solid, yeah. I don't know.
He's doing bloody well. But yeah, the Broncos just really didn't have any answer. They were down 28-6 at halftime. 7 minutes into the second half, Hughes was in again, and it just started. And Jesse Arthur's got a nice try, but really
9 tries.
Not the performance.
Yeah, crazy.
Not the performance the Broncos wanted in the last match of the season. I know I hate getting smashed in the last round because that stays with your head all the way through to next year. It sucks.
Yeah. Just a reminder to Kevy too and all the Broncos fans as he eats his words again this week, not making the finals, mate. See you next year.
He should not ever make proclamations like that. We will make the finals. Go and join the family. How many times did we see Apisai Coruscant get sent off in that promo? And he got sent off again.
Yep. That's what he does.
He is dead set the number 1 sender-offer in the competition. I think that's a word. But how good was it? The Spoon Bowl. It was a battle. It was all close. Para took the advantage 22-10 at halftime, and then West Tigers did what West Tigers do best. They fed him, didn't come out for the second half. They didn't come out in the second half. They hung in there for 10 minutes. Bryce Cartwright scored, and then it was just an avalanche of tries. 11 tries to 5, Breno.
Yeah.
11
Pretty
tries
crazy.
to 5. 60-26 for the right to not be last.
So, yeah, 3 wooden spoons in a row for the Tigers. Sorry, Tigers fans.
Goodness.
But someone has to come last, unfortunately. There was... this poor fella, there was a bit of an incident in the crowd as well. Tigers fan got forced to stay till full time to watch the game.
I saw that one. It looks like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It looks so much like the old Manchester United player. But anyway, he had to stay and watch the whole game. Yeah, Parramatta fans.
Yep, celebrating. Para's celebrating, but yeah, he still come third last.
Exactly. Yeah, they jumped the bunnies actually out of last spot, but a lot of work to do for both of those teams. Congratulations, West Tigers. Commiserations, West Tigers. I'd say you didn't deserve last, but they really did.
I'm feeling the Knights did it a little while ago, back in 15, 16 and 17. Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, the Bunnies did it in the early 2000s as well. It's not good coming last every year.
Nah. So we'll see you both next year, Tigers and Eels.
Yep, that was an interesting match. And that took us into the late game on Friday night, the South Sydney Rabbitohs playing at home to the Roosters, arch enemies. And it was a very similar game, I must admit. It was a very similar game. Kind of South hung in there and got a couple of tries, and it was pretty even for a while there. 14-10 at half-time to the Roosters, but then there was just that period, 10-minute period early in the second half. Tupanua scored, and then Tedesco scored 2 tries. Carried on like he'd scored a grand final. I thought it was a little bit of a weird carry-on considering he's beating second last. But hey, they beat us. Fair enough. 3 late tries of the Bunnies though. Tyrone Munro, Tommy Burgess bursting over in his final match.
Didn't he?
That was awesome. And Jai Gray scoring his second try for the match. I tell you now, Latrell Mitchell, centres. Wayne Bennett, do not put him in at fullback. We need Jai Gray at fullback. Fair dinkum. If we put Latrell Mitchell at fullback next year, the South fans are going to be up in arms. Jai Gray, fantastic talent. Really good player, creative, fast, does lots of metres. But in the end, the Roosters raced to that 36-12 lead, like I mentioned, before the 3 late tries. The South made it an 8-point game, which is good because I tipped Roosters 1-12.
Yeah.
You, though...
Yeah, what an idiot.
Tipped the Bunnies.
Well, they're looking good at half-time. They're hanging in there. Roosters missing half their team. I thought, I've got to throw something in there to try and catch up with PJ. There we go.
Yeah.
Not to be in that game.
Yeah. So that was a tough one for the Bunnies fans. But early on Saturday, we had another clanger, another classic match. The Dragons at home at Cogra in the Might Be Bowl, I'm going to call
the
it.
Might Be Bowl.
Because if the Knights and the Dolphins drew on Sunday, this game winner would be in the finals. So they were playing for $1 million to 1 chance. So you're seeing there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Yes, $1 million to 1 chance. And when Tom Eisenhuth scored in the 0 minute, at NRL.com, there's no such thing as the 0 minute. As soon as you kick off, it's the first minute, you idiots. Fair dinkum. But Tom Eisenhuth scored in the 0th minute. And it looked like the Dragons were going to be on fire when Jacob Liddell and then Sewer scored. It was 18-0.
Yeah.
18-0 to the Dragons after 12 minutes, and they lost. Can you believe that, Breno?
Yeah, I thought, here we go. I'll stuff this tip up as well. Bloody Raiders, you can't pick him. Neck minute.
Neck minute, yep. Unbelievable match. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, kept them scoreless in the second half. They did not score 1 point. Dragons in that second
18-0 after 12 minutes. 24-10 to the Dragons at halftime, and they lost. Like, Flanagan must be just doing burnouts in the car park, fair dinkum. I don't know what he'd be thinking. The team, fair dinkum, is just one that gives up. They're a momentum team. If the momentum's good, they score lots of points. But if they get into a grind, they fall apart. They've got to change that next year. They've got to get some mongrel in their forwards.
The North Queensland Cowboys locked in a home final with a dominant 44-6 win over the Doggies. Doggies never in this game. Cowboys took a 20-0 lead at half-time. Going on with it in the second half, showing they might have what it takes to go further in the finals this year and actually be a contender for the title. Dogs not looking too good after another defeat. We head to finals. Bulldogs streets of Belmore a little bit quiet this week compared to round 21 and 25.
Yeah, wow, what a game. Like after they played really poorly against Manly last week, Coach Cameron Ciraldo said, it's an easy fix. I know what's wrong. It's all going to be good. Don't worry about it. We'll be back. We'll be good next week. And they played worse. So I don't know what he thought was wrong, but he's in a massive world of hurt. after 2 heavy defeats, and now they've got to play Manly, who did look directionless without Tommy Turbo, let's be honest, but we'll get to that game. He's got to play in an elimination final, fortunately at home, thanks to the Sharkies, but he's got to turn it around real quick. The Dogs have been amazing this year. They've made the finals because they have the best defence in the competition, and they've just let in nearly 90 points in 2 weeks.
Crazy.
Shocker.
Could have mistaken the Panthers' old retro brown Soldiers jersey to be Manly, and in actual fact, the ref did make that mistake during this game, during a captain's challenge, asking for him to check Manly. Oh, hang on, wait, no, it's the Panthers. Anyway, but defending premiers Panthers survived a huge scare from the Titans to take the points, 18-12, securing second spot in a home final. Last ever game at Penrith Park as well next week. As they make way for a new stadium they're going to build next year.
Uninspiring performance, I thought, from the Panthers. They kind of did enough to get the job done. The Titans were good, I thought, so credit to the Panthers for winning. But every time I take the Panthers 13 plus, they either lose or they lose or they get 1-12. And the moment I go, they're not going to smash anyone, they put 50 on someone. Yeah. So
it's hard to
I can't get them right this year. It's been a real painful year for the betting side of things. But Panthers limping into second spot. Their form over the last 3 weeks, not great. They've got to be a lot better to beat the Roosters. Even with the injuries that they've had, they showed some pretty good form against the Bunnies on the weekend. So that'll be a good game. I think that's going to be one of the best games of the round.
Now, Cronulla will travel to Melbourne next week, full of confidence after a dominant 40-20 victory over Manly. Sharks ran in 7 tries to 4, denied the Seagulls a home final. Best performance by the Sharks for a number of weeks, though, after some disappointing efforts, especially last week against the Warriors, but looking good as they go into the finals next week.
Turbo, will he be back? They looked directionless, Breno. With Turbo out with the AC shoulder joint injury. That's what I mean.
Is he going to be?
They just look direction. I think he has to be.
He's been named,
all or nothing. Yeah, it's an all or nothing moment for the Manly Seagulls.
Put an injection into his shoulder and
just got to stab him with something. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just give him a good stabby and he'll be fine. But the Sharks, they could have scored 20 more points. Like, they were awesome.
Yeah.
They played some really good football, really expansive, creative football. Mulatalo was back to his best. Breno P.J. just running those angles, mate, just carving up the edge defenders. He played a really good game. I thought Nico showed some form. He still had some moments where he kind of didn't look and then threw it to the touch judge. There was still a couple of those moments in there, but he's only a couple of games back.
Yeah.
He'll be better for the run, but really impressive game, I thought, from the Sharks.
So we had the duel for 8th spot on Sunday in Newey. It all come down to this last game of the regular season, and this game didn't disappoint, especially if you're a Knights fan.
Yeah.
Unless you're Wayne Bennett or a Finns fan, sorry Sam, but Knights took control early, and the defence helped give them a 14-16 win, securing last spot in the 8, and locked in the finals. Knights doing a Bradbury getting over the line, and as I wrote him off about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I wrote him off too. I said the Dolphins were in, or the Dragons. Everyone else was gone, so the Knights have proved me wrong.
Yeah, and they're going crazy here in Newey. Everyone's got their blue and red on.
Yeah, but what a tight, expansive, but edge of your seat kind of game that was. It was a really good game. I kicked back with a beer and I was watching that one intently. Jesse Bromwich, God bless him, sends himself out in the sin bin. Couldn't be more fitting for the player that his career has been. He's now retired, unfortunately and sadly, but he probably deserved to be the bin the final 10 minutes of his career. I think Warrior Hargraves needs to do that too. 10 to go. Roosters are losing. Just go coat hanger someone. Just go coat hanger someone. But Kalen Ponga was, I thought, fantastic. Adam Elliott Scored the first try, and I thought it was a good one. But Knights clung to it. It was a tight contest, and they did really well. Congrats, Knights fans. And commiserations to our Dolphins fans. I am obviously a Bunnies man, so I'm a Wayne Bennett man, which means I'm sort of a Dolphins man. And it would have been nice to see them make the finals for the first time. Sam, sorry that you missed out, Dale, but there's always next year. That's what I'm telling myself at the moment. Because we came 16th.
All right, let's go take a look at the final ladder.
Final ladder for the season.
There we go. There we have it. Top 8 finally all locked into place. Yeah.
Yep, Knights finally pinched that 8th spot. Get that 8th spot once and for all. Canberra should have had it. Like when we do our season review, everyone, just so you know, we're going to do a season review on every team. Your own little mini episode on every single team. We're going to do a season review on every team, taking you all the way through mini episode day when every single team in the comp place, starting from 17, taking you all the way through the grand final day when we do first place. Yeah, but Canberra Raiders can feel disappointed. They let a number of games go this year, and all teams do, but there were a couple of clangers, and one win there, and Canberra make the 8.
They've been in good form the last few weeks. They've actually knocked off a couple of the top 4 teams. So, yeah, they had something to play for, but yeah, they just didn't quite get enough wins. Some of those games during the year, disappointing.
Yeah. Broncos' end of season form had them slumped 12th. The Warriors, with Sean Johnson's parade going around to say goodbye to him, they slipped into 13th. The Titans were gallant until they almost couldn't make it, and then they just gave up.
Yeah.
Parramatta jumped out of last spot, really, to beat the Tigers and push South Sydney into second last, which is horrendous for me, just quietly. That's terrible for us. But only minus 188, I think it is. So it's not
188.
Terrible. Tigers nearly minus 300. So
yeah, that's horrible.
Deserved of a wooden spoon.
Yeah, they had over 50 points put on them 3 times through the year, so yeah, that's bound to happen.
Yep.
Okay, what happened to our tips this week?
Oh, let's have a look at tips, Breno.
little bit better than last week.
Let's have a look at the tips.
So I got a typical 5. You got a nice 6.
Yeah, we had 3 different.
Yeah.
And I got 2 of them, you got 1, so I jumped 1 more point ahead of you. Oh, it's close.
The bunnies cost me.
Yeah, the bunnies cost. Yeah, I couldn't believe you picked the bunnies, but I actually thought West Tigers would win. Yeah, the way the West Tigers played the last 2 weeks, and they're like, no, we're refusing to accept last place, and then they just don't come out for the second half. It's like,
Yeah, I was in between for that one. I was almost going to tip Tigers, but no, Parramatta's been strong the last couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, and I was leaning to Manly at Brookvale. Sharks have a horrendous record there. But as soon as I heard Turbo was out, I just felt the Sharkies would win that one, and that was a good call. Good call.
Nice work.
I must say, Breno, it's one of my favourite moments as a footy fan to get that picture of them all standing there with the trophy
nice, isn't it? Yeah.
and then be crossing them off one by one as they get knocked out.
Yeah.
And I hate seeing my team get crossed out, but you know what I hate more than that?
Not having a team in there.
When they're not even there. Exactly. It was very sad. Looking at this picture, I saw the red and green and went, oh, did we make it? But it's Penrith's background, so... Yeah, that's your playoff tree. So Melbourne and the Sharks, the loser of that one will play the winner of Cowboys and Newcastle, while the Panthers and the Roosters on the right-hand side, the winner will go straight through to the prelim. The loser of Panthers Roosters will play Bulldogs or Manly. What do you think of that one, Breno?
Bulldogs and Manly. It's going to be a tough one, I think.
I think it's going to be
we're going to get to
it. Yep, it's going to be a cracker. But
so, yeah, kicking off the finals weekend, we have the qualifying final at Bluebet Stadium, 7:50 on Friday. Panthers are taking on the Roosters. It's second versus third. Panthers have got the money on $1.44. Roosters are paying $2.80. Both coming off very close wins. I think I'm going to tip Panthers on this one, I reckon. 1 to 12.
Oh, I think I'm going Panthers as well. They met once this year, and this is my frustration with the draw, Breno.
Yeah.
Rabbitohs have played Storm twice, Panthers twice, Sharks twice, Roosters twice for the last gajillion years, and Roosters played Panthers once this year.
Yeah.
And Panthers beat them 22-16 back in March. It was a close one. I expect this to also be a close one, but I do expect a Panthers 1 to 12 in this one.
Definitely. All right, then we go into our Saturday, the first of the Saturday games. It's another qualifying final, so both these games they get a second chance if they lose. So we've got Storm taking on the Sharks at Amy Park at 4 p.m. First versus fourth. Storm have got $1.31 and Sharks are paying $3.52. Both coming off a substantial win last week. How are they going to pan out this week with injuries and all that? But
yeah, they've only played once again. Sharkies only got one of the top teams once. Back in May, Sharks won this one 25-18. Melbourne at home, and this was in Melbourne. It was the first time the Sharks had beat Melbourne, I think, this century.
Yeah, I remember that now, yeah. One of the only teams that actually beat them at home this year.
I think it was before 2000 when the Sharks last beat... No, that's completely wrong. I'm thinking of someone else. Sharks, 25-18 in Melbourne. This will be a cracker. For sure. I'm looking forward to this one. I honestly don't even know who to tip. I just realised I've got to tell you my tips now. I haven't really thought about it, but I'd probably go on Storm 1 to 12, but I'll be cheering on the Sharkies for the misses.
I think, Storm 1 to 12 as well, I think, yeah. It's going to be that's probably going to be the pick of the week, I reckon, that game.
That's, one week is usually the pick of the round.
Yeah. All right, then we go over to Queensland Country Bank Stadium on Saturday at 7:50 for the kickoff for the first of the elimination finals. So loser is gone. Cowboys are Knights, 5th versus 8th. As we said before, Knights just fell over the line and got that 8th spot. They're paying $2.80. Cowboys looking good after that massive win last week, $1.44. They beat the Doggies. Yeah.
I think the Knights can win this, Breno.
I hope so. Last time we played them, it was round 2, I think.
Round 2,
and we should have beat them, but they ended up kicking a field goal. It was 21-20.
81st minute extra time field goal. Cowboys escaped with the win. I'm not sure they'll do that this time. I think the Knights are in good form. I mean, the Cowboys are in good form too, obviously, but I think the Knights, if there's going to be an upset this weekend,
this will be it. Yeah,
this is the one.
We can only hope.
This is the one. Yeah, Knights 1 to 12 for me.
Oh, see, I don't know. If I have to go with my heart, I think and go Knights 1 to 12.
Don't use your head in finals, mate.
No, what's the point?
It's all about belief. Just believe. Believe. Just believe.
All right, the final game of the round, the last of the elimination finals. Loser is gone here as well. We go to a call at 4:05 on Sunday. Doggies taking on the Sea Eagles, 6th versus 7th. And Bulldogs paying $1.81, Seagulls $2.04. What's that going to say? What's that saying? The Bulldogs are favourites. Well,
yeah. Well, I'm looking at Sportsbet right now. They're $1.92 each. It's a dead split.
So it's changed.
It's going to change every minute. It'll be different by the time someone watches this video in half a day, 2 days' time. Bulldogs, Manly. Amazingly, the 4 semi-finals this year, they've only played each other once.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that interesting? How the top teams tend to only play the top teams once. Yeah, isn't that interesting? NRL, pull your heads in.
He does this draw.
Yeah, seriously though, Breno. Seriously, there are 16 teams in the comp. How hard is it for everyone to play everyone once? And then you play 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, all the odd numbers this year and all the even numbers next year. And then everyone plays everyone the same amount of times across a 2-year period. Yeah. How difficult would that be to do for the draw? That's what we should be doing with the draw, because it's bollocks what's happening right now. That gives you 23 rounds, because obviously you play the other 8 teams with your 15. That's 23. And then you can have a rivalry round as well, which would be South Roosters, obviously, because we like to pick the teams we can't beat, and have a rivalry round against them to make sure that we have the 24 rounds, because we're going to have 3 buys and blah, 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 blah. But how hard would that be? Seriously, NRL, come on, call me. I'll solve your video ref problems as well.
Oh, no.
Only played once. These guys, as I said, Manly beat the Bulldogs 34-22 just 2 weeks ago. That was the first time they'd played all year. Is Turbo in? He's been named?
Tom Trbojevic has been named, yes.
He's been named, so I'm probably leaning towards Manly purely because they won a couple of weeks ago, and Cameron Serrato has clearly identified that he can't fix whatever was wrong. I think I'll go Manly 1-12 in this one.
Yeah, okay.
But Bulldogs, I tell you now, if they turn up with their defence, come on, doggies.
Got 30,
no one wants to see Manly win.
30,000 Doggies fans cheering them on too. I'm going to go Dogs 1-12.
Yeah. Apparently NRL moved this game because of some clash with some AFL team
game or something happening.
No one cares about Greater Western Sydney. No one in the rugby league community gives a turd about Greater Western Sydney Giants or whatever they're called. No one cares. This is on Sunday because it's going to be 50,000 people there. That's why it's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't
wouldn't have made any difference if it was on Saturday or Sunday. Yeah.
Exactly. Don't give them credit, mate. Seriously, they don't deserve it. But yeah, Manly, I think I'm going Manly 1-12.
So if you haven't been paying attention and you missed all of our tips, here they are. All right, let's go have a look at... What are we going to have a look at? What time is it?
What time is it?
Ooh.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
P.J.'s Tip of the Week.
Oh, guess who got 4 out of 4 last week? Still didn't get all the margins right, but hey, it's the closest I've been to getting it right all year. So we're down to the finals. There's only 4 games to go, right? 4 games this week, I mean. So rather than do 4 games, because I clearly can't do that, okay? I'm going to mix it up with this week, all right? So what we're going to do is this. You ready? We're going to go Panthers 1-12 to Ruva to score a try into Manly 1-12 with Turbo to score a try. All right? So, Panthers 1-12, Taruva to score a try, Manly 1-12, Turbo to score a try, PJ's first multi-up of the year. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
P.J.'s Tip of the Week.
And there's a reason for that, Breno. Just want a full disclosure here. I don't want to bet against the Knights. and I'm cheering for them, but I'm not confident.
Fair enough.
I'm really not sure which way that one will go. And to be honest, I'm not sure about the Sharks.
I'm putting my money on now.
I've tipped Melbourne 1-12, but I reckon the Sharkies got them this year up, down in Melbourne. I reckon they could do it again. So those 2 games, I'm a little bit iffy. I think the Panthers will get it, and I'm pretty sure Manly will get it. So let's do that multi and see if we can't get a win.
Good luck with that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, so definitely some good games of footy coming up. Can't wait for the finals to kick off on Friday. I think that's all we've got time for today. Have we? Anything else? No?
That is all we got time for. Remember, we're doing a season update. What do you call review?
Doing what are we calling it? Yeah, team review. Yes.
Team review every day. in the lead up to the grand final. So keep an eye out. We'll put one up every day, starting with the West Tigers. And
watch this space. Yeah.
Share them with your friends.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the footy. Enjoy the footy, PJ.
Ta-da.
See you,
Go
mate.
the Knights. Come on,
Go
Knights.
Knights. Do it.
Come on, Knights. Go Sharks.
Thanks for tuning in to another action-packed episode of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out all of the NRL Live Chat 2.0 action on our Facebook group page. Come and join the chat. Goodbye.